A good dinner of Shabbos. This week's Parshas Emor. Parshas Emor starts off, says Emor ala kayanim b'nei Aaron ve'amarta aleihem. So it seems to be a double lashon of Emor and ve'amarta, and many pens have been broken trying to figure out why there's a double lashon on this pasuk. Rashi tells us it's lahazir gedolim al haketanim, and generally we understand that to mean to warn the gedolim about the ketanim. But there's many different ways to, the Mefarshim talk about many different ways to interpret this. One explanation is that the phrase is cautioning us, and it's telling us that we have to be careful with all the mitzvahs in the Torah, the small ones and the big ones. Like the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says, "Hizayir b'mitzvah kala ki b'chamura shein adam yoyde matan scharon shel mitzvahs." We don't know the schar of the mitzvah, so you have to be careful with the small mitzvahs, or what you would consider to be a small mitzvah, just like you would for any big mitzvah. That's one way of interpreting it. I thought of maybe a different way, and it's based on something Rav Druk said, but I'll put my own spin on it. There's another way that what you could say is another possible explanation for these words is that every person has in their lives spiritual highs and spiritual lows. They have times when they feel closer to the Rabbeinu Shalom, and they have times when they feel not so close to the Rabbeinu Shalom. They have times when they're gadol, and there are times when they're katan. So perhaps the phrase lahazir gedolim al ketanim is alluding to this idea, and it's telling us that the Torah is telling us that during those times that were small, remember the times that you were big. Lahazir gedolim al ketanim, that the times that you're big, the times that you're spiritually high, should warn you and tell you, you're going to get low. It's very difficult to stay on a spiritual high all the time. That's how life is. There are ups and downs, ebbs and flows. That's how life is spiritually. And perhaps that's what Rashi's telling us, lahazir gedolim al ketanim, to tell us that when we're spiritually high, hold on to that high as long as you could, but also take a little bit of a warning. There's going to be a low. So when you're low, remember that you could be high. You could be spiritually high. It's not going to stay there. Your spiritual low that you may be feeling is not going to stay that way. You can rise above, and we will rise above. Emirtz Hashem, we should all be zeicha to feel spiritually connected to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Have a wonderful Shabbos.